Hello. Okay, I'm just checking my sound here. I am in a different area. I am in France right now, so it's a little different, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm just trying to check to make sure that my sound is good, right? Right. Okay. Okay. I think that works. Hello. Thank you for joining. I have a glare. I didn't feel like putting my contacts in, and now I'm regretting it because now I have a glare from random light. Okay, let's see how that works. Anyways, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. If you're wondering who is this person that you are looking at right now and why is she coming across your screen, it's because it is moi. I am Yolanda. I am locating cozy, and this is a broad chat. So here I get to come on here and just ramble about stuff that's going on in my world because uh, April of last year, I left the US, moved to Spain, and still do pet sitting because I want to. So, and also free accommodation. Yes. So right now I am actually in France. I'm on a pet sit. It's a 2-week pet sit. And I thought I would come on and just talk about what my experience has been just in the past few days. I don't think I'm going to do another live next week from here because one, the lighting. Yeah, the lighting is like really not lighting well. I I'm in the living room. I have this lamp, this little lamp that's right here, that's lighting up. And I did bring my little mini ring light, but it's just not giving me enough light. But you know what? We're just gonna go through and just enjoy and talk because I had a lot to say and I wrote notes and everything. So yeah. So let's get the party started. And yeah, yeah, I'm enjoying my little pin up here. Okay. Anyways. So please do, when you do come in, whether you're watching this live stream or if you're going to catch it later on the replay, please do make sure that you say hello, leave a note, leave a comment, and tell me where you're at, what you're doing. I appreciate it. So let's see here. Oh my goodness. Please do make sure that always remember to like and subscribe and thumbs up so that I will know or you will know when I have something wonderful and insightful to share about my journey and all my wonderful inside thoughts and my intellect. Okay. Okay. So, what is going on? I like to ask, um, how are you locating your cozy? What are you doing that is for you, that brings you joy, that is completely selfish? You're not hurting anybody. You just want to find your joy. Please do share in the comments and in the comments now or later. What you up to? What did you do that was just bringing you joy? And I would say that for me, I'm in freaking Marseille, France. Okay, yeah. Okay. I I took the train on Friday, and it was a wonderful, wonderful train ride. I had the option of either taking just like catching a flight out of Madrid to come here, and it was like an hour and 45-minute flight. And I could have done that, but I just did not want to go through all of the hassle of security through the airport. So I just opted to do a longer journey via train, and I'm so glad that I did. I don't know if I'm going to um, take a train back or if I'm going to go ahead and just catch a flight. But it was definitely a journey and an enjoyable journey on the train ride up. It was very relaxing, and I talked to some wonderful random people because I don't meet strangers. So yeah, that's what I did. And yeah, it was worth it. The scenery, oh my gosh, the scenery, because they say on the train it says like where they're stopping, for each city. So like we stopped at, I mean, all the cities along the Mediterranean coast leading into Marseille, France. Marseille was the last stop. And so yeah, we stopped at all these wonderful little towns and beautiful view and saw like a bunch of flamingos on this one. And I you know what? I'm not gonna try to name. I didn't make a list of everywhere that I've been, but we went. I think it was like the south side of the Pyrenees. We didn't go up in the Pyrenees mountains, like you could just kind of see them. But yeah, it was really great, and I encourage anybody to do it. I was concerned because I have gotten spoiled with the Erio train. There are many different trains that go all through Europe, and I had been kind of spoiled because I like Erio. So, but because the best route that I could find was with Renfe, and the best rates and route that I could find was with Renfe. So I went with them, and I was kind of concerned, and because I hadn't used them in a while, and I just had, I'll say, odd experiences before I discovered Irio when they went live a few years ago. Renfe was okay, but if it came to choices, I would always go with Irio. So Irio was not a choice, and I did try to see about some other train options coming into Marseille, coming into France from Spain. But Renfe was the best one, and no regrets at all. They have like the one train car where you can go and get a drink and get some food, and then like the way they have it, you can really enjoy the sights pretty clearly. Although because I'm 5'3", so when you're standing up there and you're looking, you're like, oh, it's like either you have to be a kid that's shorter or you have to be a lot taller, because all I was seeing was like this like band or frame or whatever, this thick frame. So I couldn't really see straight out, but you saw enough. It was a beautiful view. But then also I had window seats. I had a window seat. So it was easy to see and it was very beautiful. Great experience. Definitely. So let's see here. But yeah, locating my cozy has definitely been the just, me just jumping on a train by myself and headed up here and not knowing a lick of anything, not knowing anything about how to. My French is like not Frenching, and it never was. It didn't even exist. So yeah. Okay. So let's see here. I do want to go ahead and hello, well, for me, it's good evening. Hello, Effie. Thank you so much, Effie, for joining. I do appreciate it. And also, hey, Aileen, thank you. How you doing, sweetie? It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate the support. So thank you. I'm trying to get something. There's something caught because I'm like, I feel like it's very obvious, but something's like caught in my tooth and I can't get it out. So I'm not digging for gold right now during this live, but it's really bothering me. And yeah, so I'm just gonna have to suffer through, but I keep trying to like do the tongue thing and get it out, and it's not happening. Anyways, so we'll move forward. So please, I have a few things that I'm going to cover today about this experience. And again, this is just my experience that I'm just sharing with you so far. It does not mean that, somebody else is going to have the exact same experience. I mean, overall, it's been a great experience. I've been very busy working on some things also. So I kind of felt like the same, not the same, but I kind of felt like that person that's writing a book and they go to like this reclusive area or whatever, and just like sit down and they don't even come outside, and they've been working for like days on end or weeks on end on their new book. I'm not working on a book, but I am working on something that's pretty big, and so I wanted to make sure I'm focusing on that and not losing track. So for the first from Saturday when I got here, well, when the pet sit started until yesterday, I really didn't do much of anything else. So Saturday to Tuesday, I was just working on getting some things together, and then last night I went out. But I mean, I've been around, but I haven't like really like gone anywhere or gone sightseeing really. As I say that, I'm like, girl, yes, you have. You've stepped out a little bit. Okay, so I'm really close to the pet sit is really close to the coast, like to the beach. So what was that Monday? I did get up and go for a nice little walk. Was that Monday? Oh, it wasn't. That wasn't Monday. That was yesterday. Yesterday I got up and I went for a nice long walk. So that was really nice. I went for like a 3-mile walk along the coast, and that was really cool. And I was fine with that until I don't like bridges, you guys. I don't like bridges. So I'm walking along the coast and I'm like, oh, okay. And it's like high up and everything. And there was some bridges, but then there was this one bridge that's like really, to me, it was a really big bridge. and the sidewalk was like maybe the size, it felt like the size of this table, which is like, like this. Okay. And so I got to that bridge, and I mean, I could see this beautiful, views and everything. But I got to the very edge, and I looked down. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not crossing that bridge because I don't know, my paranoia. I'm like, somebody's gonna trip, or I'm gonna be walking and somebody's gonna trip, and I'm either gonna fall into traffic or fall over the side of the bridge. So yeah, I just turned my happy ass around and headed back, and I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. That's fine. So yeah. Well, yesterday I got up and I went for a nice walk, and it was just really beautiful. And I took some great pictures. Um, like see my thumbnail. That's where I got the pictures from my morning walk. And yeah, it was great. So before we get started and going down the list, I just wanted to first, make a few announcements. Okay. Okay. So again, make sure that you do like and subscribe. Very, very important. Big announcements are coming. So if you are a woman that wants to come to Spain, but you're scared because you're like, I can't travel by myself. It's just not in your DNA. You're like, I can't do it because I don't want to do it by myself. You need to sign up in the link below. You need to sign up for some email updates because I do have a pretty big announcement that's coming in September. So, as you guys know, I am not one to send a bunch of emails or marketing emails. I'm getting into trying to do more things, but if I'm telling you that you probably want to go ahead and sign up now for some updates, trust me when I tell you, I don't just send out a bunch of things just to say something. I just don't, it's not in my DNA to do that. But I do need you to sign up. If you are someone that wants to travel and you're like, I don't want to do it by myself. I just can't. I can't imagine that. Um, Sign up for some email updates. Make sure that you just go in there, email updates. There's a little form or whatever, you fill it out. It's just basic information. And then next month, you'll get some information that I think that you're going to like to make you reconsider what your real options are. Okay. And if you're dreaming about moving to Spain and you just don't know where to begin, or you kind of fell off in the process, you haven't started the process, or you fell off the process. Maybe you just kind of got stuck, got in your head, or maybe there were some challenges that you were like, well, it's just not meant to be. Then you need to definitely sign up for the email updates because I have a couple of things that you're going to want to hear about coming up in September. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's it for now. And all kinds of other wonderful things. If you want to talk to me or need some help or whatever, need insight, it's all in the descriptions. I have all kinds of wonderful links and information in the descriptions. Okay. So go there, get your information. Let us begin. So, um, I've been a traveling pet sitter now. I call myself in my actual trusted house sitters portfolio profile, it says traveling pet sitter extraordinaire. That is moi. And so now I interviewed Lisa, who lives in Marseille, about what, a month or so ago? Maybe it was less than that, but I interviewed her, and she was just sharing so much insight, and I found it so interesting. So I was actually looking for a pet sit in Paris, but this one in Marseille came up, and I was like, you don't have to go to Paris. You live in Spain. You can go there anytime. Get this pet sit in Marseille. So that's what I did. I secured this pet sit, a 2-week pet sit, and I went through and had a wonderful conversation with the pet owner. And now I'm taking care of this wonderful cat who sits on the windowsill. The windows are all open. So just if you hear any noise or whatever, I can only handle so much of no AC and windows being closed. So yes, the windows are open, but I did close one. But yeah, I'm here in Marseille. So it's been a it's been interesting. So first of all, as I said, the trip up on the train was wonderful. It was more cost. It would have been, I don't know if it would have been more cost effective for me. The plane ticket from Madrid was cheaper, but to get on the train and then to have to maybe catch a cab over from the train station to the airport, maybe I could have just probably just taken the subway there because they do have a subway that goes there from the train to the airport. But all in all, it was just more convenient for me to take the train from Spain to France instead of taking the plane. Okay, but everything was very easy. I'm gonna be posting some content soon. I have so much content, you guys. Oh my god, I have so much freaking content. Anyways, have some clips and everything from when I was in the Barcelona train station, and yeah, that was nice. It was cool. It was simple. There was no hassles. I tried my best to pack light as possible, like one small suitcase, and then my backpack, and then I ended up getting my medium-sized suitcase, and I'll share more about that in a little bit. So during the train ride, it was great because again, I I talk to people. I love just talking to random people. So on the train, I met this wonderful couple who was visiting from Colombia. They were going to Marseille, and they were just very nice, and they were just enjoying their time on the train. They were enjoying some wine and cheese and just looking over the sunset, and I was trying to actually get I wasn't stalking them, really I wasn't, but there was some scenery that was happening on their side of the train in in the car, and so I happened to catch them just really enjoying their food and wine while I was actually looking at the scenery outside. But it was great. I also met this wonderful lady from Dubai, and we started talking because they were speaking English, and of course, anytime I hear English, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" So we connected, and it was just really nice. And then I met these two guys that were from America, and one guy moved to Barcelona a while ago, and then his friend was visiting him. And so yeah, we're sitting in the cafe car and just having a nice conversation. So it was just really cool. Yeah, because I talk to people. That's what I do. And again, with that, when I got to, I- I'll just say this, like trains for me is part of like the whole slow travel journey. It really is. And I've never been on a train before I came to Spain. So yeah, I truly embrace it. Now, I got to Marseille. It was the last stop. Luggage in tow. I'm sitting up there, and I had figured out how to get because I had to stay in an Airbnb the first night, and it was a room that I rented that I got through Airbnb. And so it's like 9:30 at night, almost 10 o'clock, and I saw that there's actually a subway. I thought it was a bus, but it was actually a subway from the train station, and you just go 2 stops, and then you're there at the Airbnb, or so I thought. So, I'm looking on my phone. Thank goodness I have, my Spain data works just fine, here in France. So, I'm looking on my phone and trying to make sure I'm going to the right subway and all this, and some guy came up and started asking me for money in French, and I said no, and he proceeded to curse me out. Yeah, he called me every name in the book in English. Yeah. Okay. And I wasn't really paying attention, and then I looked at him because I was like, "Oh, you're cursing at me." And he looked at me like he wanted to make sure I understood that he was cursing me out. So, I don't know him from Adam. I didn't care. It's like I don't know. Maybe he thought that I was going to be like, "Oh my goodness, clutch my pearls." But yeah, I don't care if you curse me out, man. I don't know you. But anyways, I get on the escalators. So here's the thing. Even though I don't like bridges, I don't like escalators. Don't I will go and find an elevator before I do anything. But to me, I was like, it was late. I was like, you got to get going. I'm not going to worry about trying to find an elevator right now and stuff. Because some escalators just go too fast for me, or just like you get on one step and then it just goes down. So in here in Spain, for the most part, I've noticed that a lot of them, they start out kind of flat and then they start going down. So I was like, oh, I can do that, no problem. It was busy. I get on, and then I realized that this escalator going down was not just like about 8 steps. It was like it was going into the depths of hell. It was so freaking steep. I wanted to have a complete meltdown on that escalator, but I couldn't. I had to keep my cool. It was terrifying. I started having anxiety. I was like, this is never going to end. It seemed like that escalator, I was on there, it felt like a good 2 minutes at least. I was like, when is this going? Well, yeah, it felt like 3 or 4 minutes actually, but I'm sure I'm just over exaggerating a bit. But yeah, that was horrible. that was overwhelmingly emotionally horrible for me, and I was so thankful when I got off, and then I had to go down another set of escalators, but that one, it really was just a short little thing, so I was okay. But that first one, whew, I was like, "You cannot have a complete meltdown anxiety attack in France, okay, by yourself." So I had to woman up, and so I did. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so the other challenge that I experienced upon first arriving here in France was I packed, and I brought my medium-sized suitcase because I was like, "Girl, just, you need your suitcase, just go ahead and just bring what you need." I didn't bring my largest suitcase, but I brought my medium-sized suitcase. And I'm going around, so I get off the subway, you have to go up. There's no elevator, so I had to lug my luggage up the steps. Then I'm, going around and, doing the Google map, and I'm finally there, and I realized that the apartment is I forgot that the apartment or the room that I'm renting on Airbnb is on the 4th floor. So that means that actually it's on the 5th floor. Because if anybody knows, here in Europe, if it doesn't say if they say that they're on the 4th floor, if they say they're on the 3rd floor, that means they're on the 4th floor. It's just automatically just add an extra, flight of steps. That's just the bottom line. That's why you always ask when if you see a listing says it's on the 1st floor, you need to check and see, does that mean the ground floor, or do I have to go up one? So the bottom line was, it was on the 5th floor. I had my suitcase. The stairs in France, at least here in Marseille, and I'm pretty sure it might be all over France, are they hit different. They hit different than the ones in Spain. They they go up and then they curve around, and they kind of fan out when they get that curve. And so you're like, if you misstep, you're falling down the stairs. And then I had my suitcase. So I had to lug my suitcase all the way up. It took probably about I want to say it probably took about 15 minutes for me to get up to that 5th floor. And the Airbnb lady was very nice. And it was my fault. It was completely my fault because I knew it was on the 4th floor, and that's why I had intended to pack light and just bring my little suitcase. That's what, just a backpack and my little suitcase. That was it. And as I was packing the day, like that afternoon, I was like, no, let me just go in and get the big suitcase, forgetting that I was going to be going the first night at the Airbnb, 4th floor, 5th floor. So I was literally by the time I got up to that flat, I was literally sweating and funky. It was I was just like, "Oh my god." And then the lady, the host was so nice because she was asking me in French, did I want water? And I was like, "Yeah." And so, yeah, she just brought out some water, and she was very, very sweet. Again, I was renting a room. The bed was very comfortable. Yeah, it was a different experience, but here's the kicker, that had I had all my faculties or thought about it clearly, what I did was it was too late because I was already in the apartment, but I actually said, "I wonder if there was any lockers around." I was only there for one night. Let me just check and see if there was any, like, the little lockers that you can get for people that are traveling. Yeah, there was a locker, like a 24-hour locker where you can put your baggage and stuff in there. Like, I think it was like 2 blocks away, and it would have been easier on my on my mental capacity had I just thought about that earlier and maybe just went and got a locker and put my stuff in there and then just taking my backpack up. Yeah. So, yeah, that would have been nice, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. I was already up in the apartment sweating and trying to get past it. But yeah. Anyways, that was my first night in Marseille, and I literally got to my Airbnb. I took a shower and I went and got in bed. I was just tired after that. It wasn't the train ride, it was just going up those freaking stairs and actually also walking and getting to the Airbnb. So, all is well, all is well. Ah, Hello, Idris. How are you doing? Bonjour. Yes. Okay. Yes, I am in Marseille, France. You were asking. Yes, I am in Marseille, France. And yeah, I am thoroughly enjoying it so far and just decided that I was going to share some of my experiences so far, just to let people know, let y'all know how it's going. Again, I'm not going to do a live next Wednesday just because, again, the lighting just is not doing its thing here. Of course, now I have my whole professional studio at home. I have, yeah, in my living room, but I have much better lighting at home. So I'm just going to wait before I do a live to talk about the rest of my time in France. But I'm here. Let's talk. Let me share. And please do. I would love to know who else, whether you're watching this now or later on, have you been to France? Uh, have you lived in France or visited France? Is this on your possible move abroad uh, possibilities? Maybe you want to come and do some country shopping, some scouting in France. I would love to know that. Please do share. So the next day, I got to my pet sit. And so, again, the thing is, this is an older cat. The cat that I'm taking care of is 13 years old. So I really try not to, if it was a dog, I don't take care of dogs that are that old. I just can't. But cat is very nice, living her best life. And she is on some medications that I have to put in the wet food and all kinds of things. The cat got really, really sick this morning, scared the daylights out of me. And I sent a video to the owner, and she was like, "Yeah, she's fine. She does it every now and then, and everything is fine." But it is kind of nerve wracking to uh, take care of an older pet just because you're just scared for them. I mean, anything can happen at any time to anybody's pet. Doesn't matter the age, but it's just a little extra concerning when the pet is older. So much so because I did ask her. My plan is to go to Paris for the day or for 24 hours, and I did speak with the pet owner about that possibility. I just said, I have some people that I know that are either living in Paris or will be visiting. You know who you are. And I asked if it was okay if I leave like early one morning and come back the next morning. And she was like, "Oh, absolutely, that's fine." So I was very, very grateful for that. And I appreciated it. But I'm almost kind of, I don't want to leave the leave the cat alone for 24 hours. I know the cats are fine, but just with it being an older cat, that's just kind of concerning. But we'll see. She did give me permission. You know what I mean. She said that was absolutely fine, but just for my own peace of mind, I don't know if I'm going to go to Paris. So I don't know. You'll know when I come back for my lives in the next week or so. How about that? But overall, yeah, the sit is great. Very, very nice. She also, she had, said if you have anybody that needs to come over, like she was like, they can sleep on the couch. And I was like, well, that's very nice because I didn't even think about it. I was literally here when she made that statement. She was, of course, showing me around the apartment. And she said, yeah, this couch folds out into like a, bed. It's an uncomfortable couch, but it was just so nice for her to offer and say that. And so I said, well, I might take you up on that. There might be somebody staying one night, but maybe if one of the ladies that I'm supposed to meet up with, I already reached out to her and said, hey, you have if you come to Marseille, you have a place to stay. So yeah, we're working on it and we'll see what happens. So that's where I am so far. It's been great. I will say a couple of things. Mars said, France is expensive. Holy crap, France is freaking expensive. I live in Spain. I did not realize how expensive it is here. And so I like just going to the grocery store. I went to get they have ham. I just wanted some good old ham. And they had like these two slices and it was like €4. And I was like, I mean, the ham was good. Don't get me wrong. The ham was delicious. It was like, I can appreciate it, but also I know that I felt like I can get the same thing in Spain for like maybe, if not half, then maybe 75%, like 25% less. Um, but yeah, like I needed to get some rubbing alcohol. That's that's what it was. I needed to get some rubbing alcohol, and so I went to the little grocery store right across the street, and, it's, it's a regular sized grocery store, it's not a convenience store, and I saw it, and it was like 3.99, 3 euro and 99 cents. So then I said, "No, I'm not doing that," because I was like, "That seems like a lot." So then I go to Carrefour, which is like the main grocery store here in France. They also have it in, Spain, but here it's the one of the best known grocery it's the French grocery store. Anyways, um, yeah, even there, it was like, I think it was 250. I that's a lot. So I think I had, like, gotten a couple of things for the day, and it came out to, like, 21 euro, and I was like, why am I spending so much money? What on earth?" So, anyways, I recognize it, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't care that I have a free place to stay for the next 2 weeks. Expensive is still expensive. Okay? I appreciate that I have this wonderful place to stay. I can still complain. Both things can be true. I can have a free place, and I can still complain about the cost of things here. Okay? But yes, I am doing my best to, I guess, live like a local for the next 2 weeks, and just going around and just doing the basics. Just doing the basics. One thing I did want to point out, there's a couple of things that I'm going to point out, so just FYI, but I now drink coffee like a European. I only drink like maybe 1 cup a day, although here I've been drinking a little bit more. But the the homeowner has a coffee pot, like like the regular old coffee pots. I'm used to the one that you put on your stovetop, the silver one that you put on your stove and you make your coffee. So the lady here has a coffee pot, electric coffee pot. And so I made some coffee, and it was just so weak. I was like, this is nothing. I need something that's going to put some hair on my chest. Oops, wait a minute. I just realized I hit the mic. I need some strong coffee. So what I did was I went down to the little cafe, and I got just ordered some espresso, and then I just brought it back here and mixed up some of the coffee with the espresso, and heated that up stovetop in a pan or in a little pot, and it was just perfect. So I was like, and again, I may drink 1 cup of coffee a day. So for me, the idea that I'm like, I need something stronger is just wild to me. I'm becoming a real European. Yeah. So let's see what else. Oh, I will say also the water is good here. The faucet water in Marseille. I don't know about France. I mean, excuse me, I don't know about Paris, but I think it goes all the same. But yeah, the water is good. You don't need a filter. They have. I mean, you can go to the grocery store and buy water anywhere, but the water is good. I have not bought any water at all, and I love drink. I'm a water drinking fool. So yeah, no reason for it, and I'm staying hydrated, and yeah, the water that I give the cat straight out the faucet. So we're happy. Now let's see what else. Let's see if who has something. Let's see. See, there are some people, like Aileen says, LOL, you need the real coffee. Yes, I do. I need the real coffee. It's just so weird to me that I'm like being like, oh, this is not the good stuff. Yeah, because there are still some places, for the most part, coffee is good here. I don't usually get, I usually don't get the espresso. Usually I'll get the Americano. I tried to order Americana. I don't know if it's Americano or I think it's Americano. It's just espresso coffee with water. That's all it is, but with added water. But that's what I'll usually get when I'm in Spain if I'm out and about and I want a coffee. But they didn't have it here. Let me say this: they could do it, but sometimes uh, they were fucking with me. Okay, that's just the bottom line. I feel like they were just fucking with me because I'm just like I said Americano, and they're like, oh, Like, I don't understand. And I'm like, I know you understand what I'm saying. But anyways, I just got the espresso, took it home, added it to my coffee, and I'm good to go. Yeah. But yeah, I am now, a coffee drinker. Let's see. Also, I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Yeah, Edger says, people keep telling me that Spain is cheaper. Yes, it is. Yeah. It says, I often thought about living in Madrid. Okay, now wait a minute. Okay, hold up. Okay. Okay, so overall, yes, I see now that Spain is less expensive than, well, in some areas, is less expensive than maybe in France. But also, there are some things that are less expensive back in the States that are way more expensive in Spain. Can I think about it right now? No, not off the top of my head. But I guess it's all kind of what it comes down to, what you find, what's important to you, and where you want to live. But as far as the groceries here, definitely more. I don't know how much apartments, so I can't do a full analysis and say like, oh, well, it's overall more expensive. I can't speak to that. I just know at the grocery store hit me hard. That's all I can say about that. Okay. Yes. So they just also said, "Well, how's Marseille?" Well, girl, that's why you here. That's why you're here, right? Because we're gonna talk about Marseille. Okay. Yes, and Aileen said, "I took a day trip to Paris from London and would love to go back and explore Paris and other parts of France a little longer. Slow travel is the best. Slow travel is it. Yes, I can't. Yeah, I mean, we do what we have to do, but yeah, if there's a way after my first time coming to Spain and I was here for a week and the turnaround, so it's like you're just rushing, rushing, rushing and doing all kinds of things and then you're just on a plane and headed back. I now get it. So if I'm trying to go someplace, even when I'm going to Madrid and I literally live by train an hour and 15 minutes from Madrid, I'm still like, "Ooh, I need to be like a couple of days." And I'm like, "Girl, you don't have to do a couple of days in Madrid. You can actually just go there in the morning, hour and 15 minutes, do what you wanna do for the day, and then go back." Yeah, um, not me. Mm-mm. I have one of the ladies we're gonna get back. Okay, so just in case anybody's watching for the first time, I go squirrel. I go shiny red penny all the time, so we'll get back to France. Just a minute. Okay, that's me. Um, but no, I have one of the young ladies that lives in Zaragoza. She actually goes to Madrid, like I don't know, every 6 weeks or whatever, to get her hair done. She gets her silk press done, and she takes a train or a bus to Madrid, gets it done, and then heads back to Zaragoza. So yeah, you can easily do a day trip. And sometimes I'm just like, nope. I even want to slow travel to Madrid. Yeah, I need my time in Madrid to be a slow travel thing. Yep. So anyways, so what else is looking for my notes here. Yeah, I have to keep notes or I'll be lost. So yeah, the water's good. So getting around Marseille. So when I left the Airbnb, I could have taken not a train, a bus, but after lugging my luggage back downstairs, 5 flights of stairs, I was like, I'm calling an Uber. So yes, an Uber works here. Yeah, I just went out front. The Uber picked me up and took me over to where my Airbnb is. The transportation, public transportation here is it's good as far as I know. And the reason I say it like that is because I did meet up with some locals last night, and they had some different takes on some things that I'm going to share with you in a little bit. But as far as I know, the public transportation here is just as great as it is in Spain, which I absolutely love. Um, but I haven't again, I've been doing a lot of walking. I haven't since I've gotten to my pet sit, I've been doing a lot of walking besides me taking an Uber here and like last night for the meetup, I took an Uber there. But other than that, I've been walking everywhere. So I'll have a better update on that as I do more things in the next week and a half. The goal is if I do go to Paris, like you can take the Eurostar Disney. That's what the pet owner, the homeowner told me. She said if you take the Eurostar Disney, it's I think it's like 20 euro from Marseille to Paris, and yeah, and it's supposed to be a really nice little trip. And I'm hoping to. I know at some point, I don't know when, but I'm definitely planning to go to Nice because you can do a day trip up to Nice, and so I'm planning to do that. Go to what was it Monaco? Yeah, Monaco. I'm saying Monaco and Nice. So yes, I'm excited. I realized I when I was out last night, I was talking to some other people, and of course, I was the one that was sharing like with the locals some awesome groups if they could join, like Girl Gone International. And I said, I think that there's a chapter here, and so I'm looking it up, and I don't see anything that says Marseille. Um, Nothing that says Marseille Girl Gone International group. And then I realized that it's the French Riviera uh, Girl Gone International. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just joined the French Riviera GGI group. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, saying that I'm in the French Riviera group versus Marseille just sounded like elevated. It's not, but it sounded cool at the time when I found it. Okay. And so yeah, yeah, that's it. I mean, the crowds. I'm in the tourists because I'm right by the beach. So there is a lot more. A lot of people live here, but there's also a lot of tourists. So I walked down to the beach one time. Well, one time just to like go and be like, "Ha, beautiful! It is stunning views." But overall, the crowd. There were people playing, volleyball, and people in the ocean and swimming, and the water is beautifully clear. It was kind of weird because it was like this beautiful blue, and I couldn't understand why it looked light in certain areas. And I was like, "Oh no, that's the bottom of the ocean. That's why it looks light blue. It's just the bottom of the ocean there. So the sand, you can see the sand and the rocks. Yeah, so just beautiful. But I walked the coast early in the morning just to get some exercise, like yesterday. But just going down there just to go and stare, I'm like, okay, I went, I enjoyed, and then that's it. I don't need to go down there and sit or put my feet. I don't need to walk in and get in the water, nothing like that. It's not my mission. So yeah, but um, oh, something said I got a little notification or something. So yeah, but the morning walk is good. I did not walk this morning because when I got back last night, I had walked all the way back from the oh, French words get me. So I want to say it's the Rue Port. It, yeah, don't worry about me. Anyways, I walked all the way back last night, so I did not get up and go walking this morning. I did my share. I think I did like 9,000 steps, almost 10,000 steps yesterday. So I'm good with that. And so I'll go walking tomorrow morning, and I'm looking forward to it as long as I don't come up on any major bridges again, because then I'll be turning my happy ass around and walking right back again. Yes. I would like to. Okay. So I did do some research because I wanted to find out about some good hiking trails, and that's what I would really love to do. But the hiking trails here, I need flat land. I need some slight elevation, but mostly, flat land, maybe a little hills. No, they have whole like climbing down cliffs or climbing up with the rocks, and you have to have the right shoes on. And I looked at some YouTube videos because I did chat GPT, and I said, I would like to find some good walking trails or hiking trails. And so it gave me like a list of them. And so then I took that information and went on YouTube, and I was seeing what some of these people were walking, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Girl, it was I I would like to insert, but since it's not live, excuse me, since this is live, I'm not doing all that. But it seemed treacherous, and so I'm not, it looked like you could walk up and you can either go right, which is deeper into the terrain, or you can just fall straight off a cliff. Yeah, my anxiety was like, no, girl, we're not doing that. So if I find some good walking trails where it's more flatland, more inland, and not walking up a side of a cliff just so you can get that perfect shot, because the views were stunning. But I'm like, I don't, I'm fine. I can just look at them on TV. I can look at your pictures. I can look at your video. I don't need to be right there. I'm good. So but I would like to find some possible walking trails because I do enjoy those kind of things, even if, if it's just for a couple of hours of walking just to enjoy. And then also I feel like maybe it's going to, get me kind of jump starting for the possibility of doing the Camino de Santiago next year. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's really nice and I enjoy it. Um, I let's see what else. Oh, okay. So but when I got here, again, the homeowner was very nice. The pet owner was very, very nice, and she had told me about some different groups around here. So I belong to Internations, and I did go on to see if they have an active Internations chapter here in Marseille. They have one, but they don't have any activities. Like I don't know if they don't have like a local quote ambassador here for the Marseille chapter of Internations, but I didn't see any activities planned. There was like a lot of online activities going on, like a yoga class and all this stuff, but there was no like in-person meetups that I can see coming up like while I'm here. I also did the same thing for the Girl Gone International French Riviera group here. I didn't see anything happening, but the pet owner did tell me about polyglots. And when she said it, I was like, why would I go to polyglot? So if anybody doesn't know, polyglots is basically for people that speak more than one, they're more than bilingual. They speak more than two languages, right? So I was like, I speak English. I can't do like I'm barely speaking Spanish when I'm in Spain. I can do it. I'm better, but yeah, that's it. It's just, so I'm a third language? No way. And so, but she assured me, she was like, no, it's just what it's called, but they welcome everybody. So I was like, okay. So I did go ahead and just, I went online to see, and they have right now they have like meetups like 3 times a week. And it's not far. It's again over by the marina. I want to say it's Rue Port, but it's by the marina, which is not far. It's a beautiful marina with, oh my god, hundreds, thousands of boats. Oh my goodness. Yeah, everybody has a boat here, by the way. It just seems like everybody has a boat. But yeah, so she told me about it. I signed up. I actually RSVP'd for the one last night and the one today. Of course, I wasn't going to go to the one today, but so I went to the meetup last night. And it was very, very nice. I had a really, really great time. It literally says, like in the invitation, if you're just curious, or if even if you only speak one language, that's fine. If you're just curious and you just want to open yourself up to connecting with other people, then come. So I went. And it was really a lot of fun. I met some really, really nice people. Actually, two of the ladies were probably going to get together. I don't know, probably either tomorrow or maybe this weekend. I'm not sure. But yeah, I definitely know that I will see at least two of them again before I leave outside of we'll meet up for coffee or for, dinner or something. But yes, one lady was from the UK and she's lived here for 3 years. And I have to say this, at least in Marseille, my English, my voice, my English here, the American accent is like, I'm a superstar. Okay. It's freaking weird. I mean, this lady sat down next to me and I just said hello and everything. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're American." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, yeah." And stuff. And in her English accent, she was like beyond tickle with my American accent. Yeah. And then she's like, "Where in the United States are you from?" And I was like, "I'm from Texas." And she's like, "Oh, I love your Texas accent." I don't know what I already know that I don't have a really strong Texas accent. I know this. I recognize this, but it's still so funny when people in another country, you say not just the United States, but if you say that you are from New York or Texas, maybe California, but New York or Texas, they are just like in awe. And the first thing that people do when they hear that I'm from Texas is, "Oh, ride 'em cowboy." And I'm like, I don't have a horse. What are you talking about? Anyways, but I had a wonderful time with the people that I did meet. I met a wonderful gentleman. He was actually from Alabama, and he's lived in France for 5 years, and yeah, his French is perfect. Yeah, but so it was really great just to meet different people and talk. And so I'm sure I'll go back to another meetup since they have it 3 times a week. I'll go to one more next week. But yeah, just meeting people and just saying, okay, yeah, let's get together. Let's meet for coffee. Let's hang out. What's funny is one of the ladies that was new to the group was saying how nice everyone is in France. And the locals were like, "What?" They were like, "Who was nice to you?" If you could see the look on their faces when this lady said, she's like, "Oh, everybody here in France is so nice." And I mean, I've had some challenges of rudeness, but overall, I mean, I've had a positive experience. I've had, the lady, like it took me 30 minutes to get a coffee the other day on Saturday when I first got here because I couldn't say it in French. So the lady that worked there, she was just like, "I don't know what you're saying." Like she said in French, she was like, "I don't know what you're saying. Like I can't help you." I said cafe. I said s'il vous plaît, cafe. But she knew what I was saying, but she was like, "Nah, I don't know what you're saying." So I had walked up to the counter, but then I realized, oh, you can actually just order at the table. So I went and got a little table on the sidewalk, sat down at my little cute, French table, and I was like, oh, and I have a little notebook. I was going to write down some notes. That lady went and served everybody else and did not stop to see what I wanted to drink. And so finally, and I'm sitting right in front of the entry, like the counter is right there. Okay. And she passed me by. So finally, I went to the lady that was working behind the counter, another lady, and I was like, "Can I just pay, for this coffee?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I give her, it was like €2. I give her the €2, and then I sit down again, right? They see me sitting there. 15 minutes later, I see them walking out and serving other people. I was like, what is happening here? So I went back, and this lady she was apologetic. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She was saying in French that she forgot and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm here. I'm right here. Just give me my freaking coffee. So, but that was a challenging experience. It wasn't enough to make me go like, "Oh, never again, France, they're horrible." I didn't have that experience, and I had like two odd encounters with when I was trying to find an Airbnb for that one night. I had two well, I had one rude host. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna give her any of my energy, but yeah, she was kinda rude, and I told her so. And then she came back and said something kinda snarky to me, and then I guess she realized how bad it sounded on her end. So the next thing I looked up and she had deleted what she said. So yeah, because I'm sure because she was just like, "Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, and I'm a super host." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." So she deleted it. Anyways, but other than that, I have had a good experience so far, and I'm anticipating that it's just going to continue to be a good experience. There's a lady where I go get my little espresso right down the street. Very, very nice. She sees me doing the Google Translate to, ask like, "How are you today?" in French. I'm not going to try to say it. French words are freaking hard. If you could speak French, I have so much respect for you because like if you've learned French, that is just wild because just looking at, like on Google Translate and then having Google Translate like say it so you can hear how to pronounce it, I just butcher it every time. So yeah, I appreciate the patience that the people in the community here are showing me because that's some hard. It's hard. I am sweating right now, you guys, because I have my fan, but right now to make sure that everybody. So if I'm glistening or if you see like a little trickle of something come down, it's because I love you so much and I had to go live that I'm sweating and like, I might start dripping soon. Okay. From my sweat on my head. Anyways, but yeah, what else? Yeah, I really connected with these wonderful people. They were just very, very nice. I look forward to hanging out with them again. And yeah, polyglots, just like internations, they're all over in Zaragoza. I actually checked to see if there is a Zaragoza chapter, but it's not active in Zaragoza, which is fine. I belong to too many freaking groups now, anyways. But yeah, I'm glad that I was referred to this, and it was like a jump start for my time here and finding things to do. I went to a nice little restaurant. I went to a nice little restaurant today that had a beautiful ocean view and everything. The food was okay. The cocktail was kicking. Oh my gosh! I had a not a caipirinha. It's a caparosky. So it's made with vodka. A caipirinha made with vodka. And I was kind of like, oh, because you get the tall, like that tall, like glass for the cocktail, but it was only half full. And I was like, what is this? And I realized, oh, it was really good. They didn't put the fillers in. They didn't water it down with soda or whatever. It was just like, because that drink was strong as I don't know. Oh my God, that drink was so strong. And again, I was just like, well, that was kind of cheap of them not to, it's in a tall glass and stuff, but it was like maybe just over halfway full, but it was because it was mostly liquor, sugar, and it wasn't filled with a bunch of ice or a bunch of juice. It was ice, just the right amount of ice. It had the limes and it had sugar and it had vodka. That was in, whatever, the little extra sweetener, like maybe, I don't know, whatever the extra sweetener, but it wasn't too much and it was perfect. And so respect for not like, trying to bog it down with ice or juice or whatever. It was just a good cocktail. The food was okay, but the cocktail was good. Yeah. So I did want to just bring up that I have, regarding healthcare while I'm traveling in the EU, I have private healthcare. And as long as I think it's like as long as I'm not here for more than 90 days or something like that stuff, it's 100% covered. And I don't have to pay anything because I'm still in the EU. I don't have to pay anything out of pocket. The insurance will just be covering it. I don't know if maybe I was supposed to let them know that I was going to be traveling to the EU. I think I only have to let them know if I were like going back to the States, like if I wasn't going to be in the EU. I feel like maybe I should check that out. But anyways, I'm completely covered with my insurance here, so no issues. I'm just here for 2 weeks. So that's good to know. It's like my peace of mind. And so what else? Let's see. What are we talking about here? Yes. It and even the funny thing was, Edra says the English people always recognize the American people. What was so funny was because even when I went to the restaurant today for my lunch, and I was just sitting down, just enjoying, and the lady, there was a couple that was sitting right behind me, and they were looking over the edge, like into the ocean, and then she said something to me. So I got up and I looked over to see what she was looking at, and she said something, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And she lit up. She literally lit up when she heard my voice. She was like, "American," and I was like, "Yeah." That's it. And so yeah, again, she did the whole horse thing, like and I was like, "No, I don't have a cowboy hat. I don't have a horse. I don't have I don't have boots. Nope, none of that." But it was just this true interest. Like she's like, "Oh, I met a real American here." Okay, it was very sweet. You know, yeah. Again, I felt like a little superstar for a hot second, and then it's over because it was like, "Okay, well, nice meeting you," and then we were done. Um, the well-traveled people are really. Oh, let's see. What was I going here? Elise says, that was the first waiter at the cafe I had lunch at. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. The second waiter definitely couldn't speak English, but we worked it out with the help of Google Translate. Where was she? Oh, okay. It says so. Oh, I'm just going back in the thing here. They have nice kitchens. Oh, okay. I was looking at comments. So, anyways, um, since we have the same health insurance coverage here in France, so you're covered under any Schengen or European city. Okay, okay, yeah. So I like that. I mean, say what you will, people are like, oh, they tax you so much. The taxes are crazy and stuff. I I will not mind paying my due taxes here. I know that it is it because it pours into the people that live here, whether you are here as a citizen or a resident, you pour into it. But I have opted, I still keep my private insurance right now. I have my private insurance. And the fact that I'm paying 1,200 euro a year and that's it. That's it. I whatever test I need done, any emergencies, whatever I need done, I get done. There's no copay, there's no deductible, and it carries with me anywhere in the EU. Yeah, I have no complaints at all. So last but not least, let's see, where am I at? What else are we talking about here? Oh, you know what? Okay, so I do want to share a couple of things. I like Marseille. I love being right here along the coast, again, just a couple of blocks away. But also, it is freaking humid here. It is humid. I can't imagine being here. Now, because I live in Zaragoza and it's hot there, but it is humid, humid here, like just sticky. Like I can swear I was back in Houston. Yes, I know it's because I'm along, along the coast, but I've been in California along the coast and still it wasn't like this. Yeah, and then also not to have AC in the apartment. So this is a very old building that's been renovated, but like the shutters are still like probably from I don't know, like early 1900s, I'm guessing. That's how old this was. But the person, the homeowner, the pet owner, lives here. But when she moved in here a year ago, it was completely like just gutted. And what happened was the person that owned it inherited it from, I guess, a long lost aunt, and it had never been fixed up. So the the pet owner got to live here, was living here for free for a while, and the lady was just paying her to do whatever to fix it up to make it habitable. Yeah. So it's really cool because she really did a good job. I mean, for her, she did it by herself, and that's not her calling, but she did it by herself and fixed it up to make it very habitable for her to live here. But there's still some things that are clearly like really, really old, like the shutters. And I really do enjoy looking at them. I've taken some great pictures of the cat just sitting on the windowsill with these like old rusty shutters. Although I do wash my hands every time I have to touch them because I don't know, I think about lead poisoning or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure I'm fine, but still, it kind of freaks me out. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. Um, so it's humid here. The mosquitoes have bit me up pretty bad because you have the windows open all day because I need the circulation coming through. There's three big windows. So yeah, I've been bit up pretty bad with mosquitoes. Um, but I'm sleeping very comfortably. I have a nice fan that I just have on me at night, and I've been sleeping great, so that's fine. It's a one bedroom, and there's like a big hole right here, a big opening that leads into the bedroom at the top, so the air circulation can come through. That's great. The kitchen is old but very doable and very, I get things done. There's no air fryer or microwave, but you make do. Okay. So I've been using the oven. Can't remember the last time I used the oven. Anyways, one thing that this pet owner has done that I want to encourage whenever I do pet sits going forward or house sits going forward is to have the pet owner, homeowner set up a pet sitter profile of the guest profile on their streaming services. Okay. So what I always ask whenever I'm about to do a pet sit is, well, when I get there, it's like, do you mind if I log out and log in with my credentials, or can I use your credentials to watch like Netflix or whatever? Some people don't want you to touch it because they don't want you to mess up their algorithm, which I understand. Sometimes you'll have them where they just have like a guest profile for anybody to use, which is great. But that's something I would just strongly encourage you to have if you are a pet owner and you're having people come over to take care of your home while you travel. Just set up a guest profile. Hers just says cat sitter profile. That's it. It just says cat sitter. So I know when I go into Netflix, she's like, yeah, just click on cat sitter and you can watch anything on there. That way, you're not messing up the homeowner's algorithm. So that was just something I'll make sure I have it uh, on my checklist as far as when I'm interviewing for a possible pet sit. Okay. Mm, This location is pretty good as far as like I haven't gone to any mall or anything like that, but I know that there's some mall somewhere around here. There's a lot of restaurants. It looks like a lot of good food, and I'm trying to pace myself. because I feel like I could just lose my mind here, because I'm like, I'm on a 2-week pet sit, but I'm not on a 2-week vacation. I'm on a 2-week journey. I'm on a 2-week experience in another country, in another city, and I'm very thankful. But this is not my vacation. This is my getaway. This is my slow travel. This is my living in community in another city or country. And there's a big difference because when you're on vacation, you are literally wanting to do all the things. Just, last night at the meetup, at the Polyglot meetup, there was this lady that she was like, "Oh, you should go scuba diving. Oh, you should go and there's a cruise that goes around." I might do the cruise. I don't know, but it's not my mission to try to do all the vacation things while I'm here. They did have a wonderful open market that's going on until the end of this month that I really enjoyed walking through. It's very touristy, it's beautiful. I have some footage of that. And I am planning to go back because I think I want to get one of those little earrings that goes on your side. Not pierced, but yeah. Anyways, I want to get that. But I want to go and experience and walk around and enjoy and see the sights and things like that. But I don't need to go and do all the excursions. I figure I'm going to do a couple because again, I am working on some things. I am literally working on things right now that's very important to my livelihood, and some things that I really want to do. So I'm making sure that I'm getting things done, but also making sure that I'm taking time for myself. But scuba diving ain't it. Scuba diving or snorkeling or swimming with the dolphins. I'm not doing all that. But yes, I want to enjoy my time here and take advantage of the opportunity, but I'm not on vacation mode either. Make sense? Cool. So, yeah, that's it. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to share or go over with you guys. And if you guys have any questions about life in Marseille, like, yeah, let me know. I would love to answer them if I can. I'm still learning. I have another couple of weeks here, and I plan to do a lot of things and just enjoy myself, enjoy that slow pace, and learn more about the community. I really, I know if I really dig Marseille, then I'll come back again sometime in 2026, or I don't know, maybe in November. I don't know. I'm not sure when, but I'll be coming back. And yeah, come back and definitely want to go to Paris at some point. But yes, slow travel is the way. So I'm just going to enjoy it and find me a pet sit that will help me stay and not have to worry about um, hotels and Airbnbs. Yeah. Anyways, well, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Again, make sure that you do like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I will be on going live or posting something. I've been working on just creating some clips. I've actually been working on creating some clips for IG and all that stuff for my interview that I did with Kiara with Keeps Travels last week. But make sure that you like and subscribe. And yeah, I can't wait. Oh, okay. Let me just say hi to some people really fast. Hey, girl. Wait a minute. Where you at? Wait a minute. Hey, Junket. Junket, hey there. Yes, girl, you late. Okay. Go back to the beginning, but I'm glad that you made it. I'm so glad that you made it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'll tell you what, one thing I did that did happen when I was as soon as I got off the train and I was in the subway and I'm just waiting because, yeah, it was just a whole big mess just trying to get a subway ticket and all that stuff. That was crazy, but I figured it out. But I literally, because, me and my daughter's in a group chat and I sent them a message. I was like, the guys are hot here. It was just like it just seemed like every guy that passed by, no matter the age, no matter the color or whatever ethnicity and stuff, they were just like I was like good looking, big. There was a nice thick guy that walked by, and he just looked good. I was like, I, big boy, come here. Yeah, he was cute. He was really cute. Just they were just dressed really nice and just in different ways, but it's not to say that, oh, they look better than in other countries, but they look good. It was just very noticeable at first. And I was like, I'm like trying to keep cool. And I'm like, Try not to be too obvious, you know. I'm like, I'm looking on my phone, but I'm really looking at the eye candy passing by. That's me. So, anyways, well, thank you guys. And again, make sure that if you want to know, I said this at the beginning, if you want to know what's coming up, in September, I will be getting out some information. So if you are one that's like, I can't travel because I don't have anybody to travel with, you want to sign up in the description for the email updates. Just click on the link for email updates, and you will be notified about some big changes that are coming up, or some not big changes, big things that are coming up in the last quarter of the year. But I'll be sending out some information. So make sure you sign up, check all the links and resources, and y'all take care. Have a great day. And you know what? I'm saying all this and like having filler conversation because I don't have my music going. Okay. Thanks, guys.